Toastmasters, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guests. I do believe that it is time to alter the Fowl tradition. Mind you, talking turkey at Thanksgiving, talking turkey is an idiom that means speaking clearly and forth with honesty and candor. I was that kid, talking turkey, that didn't like much of anything about the food served at Thanksgiving. I would move my food busily about on my little tiny plate while the rest of the family would pass gigantic platters faster than we can friend and unfriend people on Facebook today. My mom traditionally cooked a dry, vile bird, greasy stuffing, and topped it off with a partially congealed pumpkin filling lying inside a crust of, well, lard and flour. Now, I thought this was just my mother's legendarily bad culinary skills until I discovered that most other families and friends of mine suffer the very same sort of issue year after year, but they seem to like it somehow. So I'm asking you now, with that in mind, how many of you are looking forward to that bird on Thursday? Go ahead, it's okay. So not everyone. But for those of you, I do want you to know that there are options and alternatives, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'm not sure how oh, more choices. Portion size and food safety. Note, 88% of Americans will be eating 46 million turkeys on Thanksgiving Day alone. Alternative choice. I'm for freedom of choice for picky eaters. I want you to consider the idea rather than just that burger. Serving these things. Some of your grandkids and kids don't even know what they are. They have to be shoved to be something that's recognizable. So this nuts with nutcrackers could be something left out, no issues, any kind of problems, and they're going to discover, like a mini science project, that what is inside this nut, and you can have a conversation about that. Look what cute, creative thing you can do with non-turkey touched vegetables and fruits. Adorable. I make zucchini and pumpkin bread every single year with no oil. I substitute straight across with unsweetened applesauce. Healthy, wonderful. Fruits and vegetables. And there's nothing in the world that prevents this particular table from enjoying a stacking of games for your kids to play. Think about if they've got Old Maid, Go Fish, Bingo, Checkers, and look at this. Imagine. I promise, if you get this for your holiday table and set it out, you're going to have to go to the dollar store and get a whole bunch of them, because everybody is going to sit body to body on the floor with crayons and sit there, and rather than stuff your face, you're going to stuff a place all over the floor and enjoy the holiday the way I thought you were supposed to, giving thanks for being there with one another, rather than just eating and eating. The holiday table itself. I want to talk about portion size. The average plate, when you're done, Most of us want to make it extra special. You add cream to almost everything. The average plate is 4,500 calories. Look it up. 4,500 calories. I suggest that you consider instead having Burger King Whoppers. You can have seven Burger King Whoppers, same caloric content as that plate. Really? I looked it up. Now I want you to consider these foods in the previous page. For me, there's nothing here I would eat. For me, I would have already made myself a beautiful meal of the goodies that you just got to enjoy too, visually. So I'm already happy. So I've got my little plate, I'm not passing anything around, I'm enjoying the conversation. And picky eater, I've got my fruits, I've got my vegetables, I've got all of those things that is going to make me happy, giving thanks for Thanksgiving, while everybody else is doing this, which is fine. But again, remember, when you go back for seconds after 4,500 calories, I want you to think about that. Now do also remember food safety. Food safety. This bird, bad science and family tradition is how most families cook their turkey. Now I'm telling you, the Center for Disease Control tells us to assume your bird is contaminated. This year, try instead of washing in the sink, putting that bird straight into a pan and cooking it at least 325 degrees as soon as you get it. That way you're avoiding having to contaminate your counters and your sinks, etc., etc. Now these guys, if you look at this, Clorox, it's a good way to clean. But if you actually read this, it takes 4 minutes of lying on the counter in the spot where the turkey was to actually kill the bacteria. So it's a better idea to go ahead and do what I suggested, and that's put that turkey straight into the pan. Now this guy here, whoops, don't use it. Bad. Do not even take one of these out because you're not likely to take and toss. You're not likely to take and toss. I'm saying that again, you're not likely to take and toss. And if you don't, you're going to end up with one of the family traditions that we hope not to have, and that is the family food poisoning event. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Clean, clean, clean. Healthy traditions are what I want you to consider. Just to alter what you do. If you have to have the turkey, fine, but I want you to really consider healthier choices for people like me, portion sizes for everyone, and food safety. We don't want to see, hey, you made me throw up just a little. We don't want to see the overstuffed and sick person. And we certainly, I have a sheet that Tony's going to be passing out in a second that discusses the beauty of the, well, barbecued fire issue you have when you oil your bird. Don't do that. So I hope that I have convinced you to healthy choices, portion size, and food safety as a way to consider defouling for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Any questions about what I had to offer? Yes?
What are your thoughts on tofurkey?
The giant bird that's stuffed?
It's a no.
It's tofu, it's not turducken.
Yes, it's a soy product.
Well, I do enjoy tofu in some of my Asian products and foods. So it might be delicious, I don't know. I mean, it's not, I prefer the chocolate one. I saw a chocolate because I'm all about the chocolate. And do remember, I don't mean to wreck that, but the high sugar content pies, etc., those can be left out and not make anybody sick because we all know that sugar is a natural preservative. So that's something it's fattening, but it's not going to make you sick. I don't know about tofu, if it's is it wonderful?
I have not tried it.
So, yeah, I vote for this stuff. Any other questions, comments?
Any alternative fruit, any alternative desserts you can recommend?
Yes, I would do the fruits and what I showed you here. Also, the pecan pie, those high sugary ones are still fattening, but again, as I stated, to avoid the big three of getting that food poisoning out of there, go with an apple pie. Go with something that has that high sugar content. I know you as a scientist, you know you're not gonna get sick from that. So that would be what I would recommend. But I want you to think about your little kids. A fresh fruit popsicle? Are you kidding me? They love that. Any other questions? Yes.
So you don't eat meat?
I love meat. I would suggest, thank you for asking, a ham as an alternative, a prime rib as an alternative, or that Whopper as an alternative. Yeah, you can certainly get sick from those. However, we tend, because of the price of those items, to not buy as much, nor do we have the other items that usually go along that I refer to as make you sick foods to go with. So you're actually eating less by having those foods. And it's pretty clear that the whole shake the drumstick idea and it's done. Some people think the gravy, the way that it's dripping, if it's the right color, it's done. No, those are all fallacies that come from family tradition and ideas. That doesn't happen with those kind of meats, so that's what I would use. Yes?
So if you don't wash your turkey and you just put it in the oven,
Yes.
wouldn't that be disgusting?
No, not only would it not be disgusting, you're saving yourself having to do cleanup completely because the germs are killed from the heat. You go 325 or better, and for the time allotted per pound for the turkey. And that's it with my question. One more.
With regards to disinfecting, I usually use vinegar and lemon juice on my wooden cutting boards. Do you have any more natural alternatives to using it?
Those two are also familial possible ways to kill bacteria, and probably your best bet is a light solution of bleach, because those don't actually do the whole bacteria thing. When you the jury's out. Something anyway. Thank you very much.
President was speaking out of the Persuasive Speaking Manual, one of the advanced manuals in the old-time, tried and true advanced manual series. And this was number 4, where you were supposed to address the opposition. We also heard another speech today from this manual. I'm going to just read the other projects, some of which he's done. Effective salesperson, conquering the cold call, the winning proposal, this one, addressing the opposition, and persuasive leader. I loved a lot of things about this talk, right from the very beginning. The title, the old title, the new title, all of the titles were excellent. I like the way you set things up here in the front, and your humor throughout was outstanding. Play on words, various stories that you told about your mom, etc. Because you're an advanced speaker, it's time to give you some suggestions about how this could have been better. First, I would say that this really didn't, to me, meet the controversial subject talk, number 4, at least the way you set it up. So you didn't begin and say, I've done a survey out there, and there are 340,000 Americans leading a charge against having turkeys for Thanksgiving, or some other straw person group, or some other anti-Fowl group. I didn't hear that. Second, you might have picked up football on Thanksgiving, and the fact that we now have 3 NFL games to watch over 9 hours, which you therefore don't have to talk to your family. These are the kinds of things that could have been set up Instead, excuse me, I just have to take a minute. Yes, is this Burger King? Could you deliver 837 big hamburgers to, yes, Kyle Wood, yes, you know, she's the famous author. And I wouldn't cook them, I just eat them raw. Could you pack a little Clorox and et cetera, et cetera. So I think you could have done more with that. But given the fact that you decided to give us a story about how to have a wonderful day, small portion sizes, your handout is outstanding on how to cook a turkey, how to cook the other fixings, marvelous. I loved your slides, although you did a little bit of trouble with the computer. And the other suggestion would simply be have someone else manage that with you, so you don't have to worry about it. Always love hearing you. You're a very entertaining speaker, and maybe we might give this speech in another manual and really hit it out of the park.